Jacob Israel, third generation righteous, right? Then Abba exploded with the fourth generation. And what I mean by that is, like if we say 12 tribes of Israel, right? That rings bells to this day. Um, no matter your persuasion, your perspective, is going to ring a bell in whatever particular circle you may be standing in, right? And that's interesting when you consider Exodus 20, starting at verse 4. You shall not make for yourself an idol in the form of anything in the heavens above, or on the earth below, or in the waters beneath. You shall not bow down to them or worship them. For I, Yahuwah your all, is a jealous Elohim, visiting the iniquities of the fathers on their children to the third and fourth generation. Right? To the third and fourth generation of those who hate me. That's noted. But showing loving devotion to 1,000 generations of those who love me and keep my commandments. Now let's just churn on that for a little bit. So let's go back. So Jacob was third generation. His 12 sons would have been fourth generation, right? So let's go back. Abraham was what would be first generation righteous, right? Friend of Yah. Walked with Yah, communed with Yah, showed tremendous faith in Yah, right? Hallelujah. Followed Yah. Um, it's noted to this day, right? All right. So then we know though that Abraham's daddy was a pagan. His name was Tarak. He was a prince in the armies of Nimrod, and we know Nimrod. He turned. He went the wrong way, right? And so he followed Nimrod. And actually, in some of the books that they say we shouldn't be reading or what have you, it talks about how Abraham cast down his father's idols, destroyed them. You have different accounts of how he destroyed them. But at the end of the day, Abraham did stand against his father. His father was a pagan. So that's very interesting when you think that, Abraham being the friend of Yah, he received the promises of Yah and is loved by Yah to this day. He didn't have to die for the sins of his father. But it seemed like in the spiritual side of the thing, um, Yahuwah worked it to where the promises of Abraham rolled all the way to Jacob, right? Third generation righteous. And then in that fourth generation, like I say, it's like his blessings exploded. Because when you think about it, these are the blessings we ride on to this day. Because when you, the fourth generation, they didn't, we can't really just say they was all and out righteous. I would say they died righteous men, but they didn't necessarily live righteously, like from beginning to end, cradle to grave, like their fathers, right? And so right there is where you could say um it was kind of like destroyed, like to a degree. We need Hamashiach, right? We needed him. And so, but it's like the way Yahuwah worked it was within those few generations where they listened and hearkened in a way we can only imagine, right? To this day, we could do better. That's a fact. Um, but in those generations, he's using their devotion to love us, right? Because I mean, how many generations are we in this now? It's uncountable. So we're into the thousands of generations, and so Yahuwah chose to cover us way back then, knowing that we would spring from them. And so, bro, I think that's such a blessed thought to understand how Yahuwah set it up to where all we gotta do is want him, and he's ready and available. And I think that's a hallelujah. Shalom.